Welcome back to Midlife Crisisses. I'm Tyson, one of the hosts. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. All of that stuff helps us continue to do this podcast, and we would appreciate if you would continue to do that each and every episode. We love you guys so much. We want to keep doing this, and that is one of the ways to guarantee. Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Guarantee it. Yeah,
okay, that we will keep doing this. So smash that subscribe button, that like button, that follow button, whatever buttons are there, smash them all.
And we really want to hear from you guys too. We want to hear about your midlife crises. We want to know what kind of stuff you are going through so that we can talk about it and share our insights about trying to survive this bull as well. So
let's get into it.
What's up, guys? This is Midlife Crisisses, where we help you handle your midlife problems by laughing and talking about our own. I've got an important question today, and it has to do with setting boundaries for our kids. What's the point? How do we do it? And how can we get better at it in the future? Enjoy.
Welcome all to Midlife Crisisses, the podcast where we talk about going through midlife as humans, as men, and all of the crises that come with it. Some positive, some negative, and we're all just going through it. We're all trying our best. Sometimes, I guess, I'm not always trying my best. Like there's a lot of times where I'm like, I should be trying harder, and I'm not.
Don't shit on yourself. Don't shit on yourself.
That's right. I won't should. I should my pants already. I love that.
You shouldn't shit on yourself.
Yeah, I shouldn't have. I'm Tyson Apostol, one of the hosts. Been on reality TV a bunch of times and am in the thick of my midlife. If I die at 90, then I'm exactly midlife because I'm 45 mathematically. I am here with two co-hosts. One is Bradley. Bradley, what's up?
What's up, guys? Bradley Hasemeyer coming to you from the ATL. Peace up, A-Town down. We got a lot of great hip-hop history here in Atlanta, by the way. It's kind of nice to be associated with such a cool city. Couple of kids, 5 and 11, foster daughter who's 28, and a dog who's 3. I'm going through my midlife crises, just trying to figure out. Our dog had something on their back. Got to take them in. Do we have dog insurance? They got to pull this thing. Like there's all that stuff. Yeah, we have dog insurance. We have pet insurance.
And they'll get you for everything.
Oh yeah, you can, dude. I don't leave the house anymore because it costs $300 just to leave the house. A quick Costco run, a bite of food on the way, and you come back home. You're like, what? I should have just stayed here. That's part of my midlife crisis. Is like, how does life cost so much to just not die? We're not even taking these extravagant, expensive trips. It's just, I just would like to live another day. Why does it cost so much? So I'm struggling with that. I'm figuring that out. I'm a content creator, and I got a lot of fun stuff going on as well. We'll get to that later, but more importantly, we have a question. Oh, by the way, thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being a part of this. Without you guys, we're just 3 dudes talking in an echo chamber. So we've gotten some good numbers back. It's helpful for us, but it's more important that we're doing this for others. That may not be your perspective, Tyson.
No, because my perspective is also the same.
It's really about helping the other people.
Yeah.
But we have a blast doing it. And so it's a little bit of a selfish. Yeah. We like to help you, but we're having fun doing it. So I love that. Lots of good stuff coming up. And so we're glad you guys are a part of it. But today we have a question from William. William, what you got?
What's up, everybody? William Drumm here, Denver's finest underwater photographer, getting ready for a trip to Baja California next week.
Ooh, doing some diving. Hopefully we're going to see some sharks, maybe even some orcas if everything goes well. So I'm getting pumped for that. And
any other wildlife besides those two? Like whales? Yeah. There's a bunch of whales, like humpback whales. What's in season?
This time of year, you never know what you're going to get. It's amazing down there. They've been seeing blue whales, humpback whales, sperm whales, pilot whales,
co-pilot whales.
With a blue whale before?
Whales. I have. I've swam with blue whales in the Azores, some really cool islands kind of between New York and Europe, and insane. Like the tail, easily twice as big as I am, twice as long as I am. So yeah, blue whales are so cool, but I've never seen them in really clear water. And the ones that they've been seeing in Baja recently, just crystal clear water,
oh my gosh.
Massive, massive animals. They're really hard because even if they're swimming slowly for them, they're moving so fast. So it might look like they're just kind of relaxing on the surface.
Yeah.
But you get in the water and they're just like, just
going right past you
so fast.
You can't keep up with them at all.
No,
like
not at all. You
I've swam with whale sharks, and as they meander, if you're kicking real hard with your fins, you can keep pace with them.
Yep.
Blue whales are so much faster.
So much faster. So if the water isn't clear, like you can barely see them. You have to have really good visibility. So when I was in the Azores, it was bad visibility. I probably did 150, 200 jumps off the boat into the water with whales. Mm-hmm. But because of the visibility, we saw them like 5 times.
Wow.
And even then it was hard. So they would be like from here to, 30 feet away. You see them very clearly before you jump in the water. You jump in the water and there's nothing down there because it's so murky. So challenges. But Bradley, it's funny because you were talking about how you can't leave the house without spending a few $100.
That's what it feels like.
Well, I've got a question today, and it has to do with that, but it didn't even really have to do with leaving the house. Yesterday, I was about to leave the house. I opened my front door, and there was 2 big packages from Amazon on my doorstep. So I said, I don't remember ordering anything. And my daughter, she's 5 years old. She just turned 5. She said, "Oh, my babies." I said, "Your babies?"
No.
She said, "Yeah, I ordered babies on Amazon." You what? And I was like, "Oh, this must be something I ordered. Like, I just moved, so I am getting a lot of new stuff. Let's take a look." Opened it up. 6 of the exact same lifelike baby doll, $300 worth of Amazon babies that my 5-year-old had ordered on my phone when I wasn't suspecting it. So I said, "We're sending these back." Instant tears, instant drama, running to the room, hiding. I tried to talk her down for so long, but in the end, we kept one of the babies, one $50 lifelike baby, and sent the rest back. And so my question today is, how do you say no to your kids? I'm so bad at it. I am not good at saying no. Like, it was just her birthday. I just bought her another lifelike baby. She got 100 presents, and yet she was able to order these and convince me to keep one of them, even though I had no intention of it. And she's got so many babies already. So my question today is, how do you say no to your children?
Oh, man.
Especially when they drop in the tears or
lay it on thick.
Yeah, lay it on thick. Exactly. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys do, how you have, strengthened your skin so you can say no more. And, a lot of times, obviously, you know the best thing for them. She doesn't need another baby.
Right.
But in her mind, she does. And I'm a sucker. So I need some help on saying no to my sweet baby girl who controls me in entirety.
I mean, I think you do need to stock up on dolls. It seems like we're going to go into a doll shortage here where
I have heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe I
seriously? I haven't heard that. There's going to be a doll shortage because of China?
Say like girls don't need 30 dolls. They only need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10
or 28
or 11
or 29 or 30.
Yeah.
He's like a 15-year-old girl or a 7-year-old girl, a 14-year-old baby. She doesn't need that many dolls.
Yeah, the 11-year-old baby girl.
15-year-old?
Imagine an 11-year-old baby girl. And you're like, "Oh, yeah, what?" So if there's a doll shortage, you might actually
you could flip some of those.
Maybe I should just hold on to these.
You should be investing them. So they were identical. Like she just pushed by 6 times in a row on that.
And like quantity up or push by.
So hilarious.
Oh,
That's
wow.
so funny. We've actually had to talk to our kids about, they can look on our Amazon, they can window shop, but they are not allowed to buy. If they buy.
That's what I thought she was doing. She's always, she's figured it out. She's learned how to move from window shopping or whatever to the full thing.
Ours have done that, and we've been like, do not, or you will not be allowed to window shop anymore on Amazon. This is a privilege, not a right. And if you are going to take advantage and just buy the stuff as you see it, then I can't let you look at that anymore.
And your girls are how old?
I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old, and both
11
of them,
and 6, right?
Both of them know. No, not 11 and 6. 9 and 6. She's about to turn 10.
A 9-year-old baby girl.
Yeah, a 9-year-old baby girl. And they know, and they've been very good about that. We'll hand them our phone. They're like, I just want to look on Amazon, see what I can buy with my money. And the one thing is that they save their money, and they're like, okay, I saved $30. I want to buy this, and I'll just buy it and not take the money from them. Just leave the cash in their piggy bank.
Oh, I take that money, but it's not my turn right now.
I should. Sometimes I do, but usually I don't. But it is hard because generationally, when I was growing up, it was like, do not ask your parents for anything ever.
Yeah.
Except for on your birthday or the holidays. Those are the 2 times when you are allowed to tell your parents what you want and then expect them to do their best to get those things for you. Yeah. But generationally now, it's like we go to Target and there's the dollar bin of garbage right there. And you're like, okay, choose a thing from the dollar bin. I don't know, it's $1 and it's not worth having a fight over for just $1. I'd rather spend the $1 and have you just not argue with me or cry at me the whole rest of this visit.
This is why your girls like you more than your wife.
But Rachel is the one that generally buys that. I almost never do. So if we stop somewhere, I'm like, heads up, we're not getting anything for us personally. We're going in to get lunch meat and bread.
That's good.
And that's it. So I always give them the heads up. Rachel is usually the one that buys them stuff, and then they come to expect it. So then when she goes somewhere and she doesn't, that's worse.
Yeah.
And it's like,
right.
So, but Rachel will be like, who wants to go to the bookstore? And they're like, I do. And they know it's because if they, throw a fit, they'll get a toy. And so I don't cave to that as often. And one thing that I have been doing is I was like, listen, we're not getting a toy. I've already said, and you crying about it makes me want to do it less, because toys and games, I like to buy them when I want to buy them for you. It makes me feel good when I can see that you're feeling good about it. And I love to get that stuff for you when you guys are on your best behavior and are grateful and are, but when you're crying about it, no, we've already ruined our day around this toy that I haven't even bought. So I'm not into it. And so I try to, and usually they calm down when I have a conversation like that with them. And I don't know if that's the right thing. Like, I'll probably have people on here being like, actually, you're supposed to say, use your words, or some hype catchphrase that's going around on Instagram right now, whatever. I don't know what the thing is, but that's what I do. It seems to work pretty well. Like, just reason with them about it. And also I'm telling them my truth, like why I am not going to buy the toy, why I don't want to buy the toy. And also, their birthdays are coming up. I'm like, write it down somewhere. If this is the thing you want, write it down and write in which order you want things, because we're not going to buy a trillion things for you. So if this is on your list and it's at the top of the list, we'll probably end up getting it for your birthday. But if you just want it in the moment and it's not even at the top of your list, like, I'm not wasting money on that. Like, and some things too, I'll be like, oh, you can buy that with your money. They're like, I don't want to spend my money. Like, well, why would I spend my money on it then if you're not willing to spend your money on it?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it, but it's like, William, your daughter's younger. She's just learning that stuff, but you also do have to create the boundary. And I don't know the right way, but that's worked for me. And sometimes there are tears, but I also was like, my parents would not have put up with tears in a grocery store over a toy when I was 9 years old or 7 years old or 6 years old. And it's just different times. And it's like, we have such an abundance of cheap hunk of shit toys that
such an abundance.
Yeah. Well, it's also we should throw the caveat out there for everybody listening. All parents are going to have their own version. It's your kids. You got to do it your way. We're not saying this is the only way or this is even the right way. We're saying this is the right way for our family.
I don't even know if it's the right way for my family.
Then you pivot.
I'm just trying.
It's just what you're doing. Yeah. But you bring up such a good point in terms of the abundance of just stuff. It's cheap. It's quick. I mean, the whole Amazon aspect, the fact that if I wanted something, I just get it, kind of, right? Like, I even think about, like, Christmas is tough when I'm buying stuff now, or we're buying stuff. My wife and I are buying stuff, especially if it's for each other. It's like, well, I needed socks, so I got them last week.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to wait like 3 months so that I could hopefully get them at Christmas. But like also the quality isn't as good, so it didn't last as long. I don't know. There's like a whole, confluence of so many different things. The accessibility of it. If you didn't have to, there's this great documentary on Netflix. I'm about halfway through with it, and it's all about basically like just the stuff. And they interview the person who made like basically the buy now button on Amazon, and you look at the labor and what's going into it in different countries, and we're looking at how our landfills are just absolutely packed.
That's the one with the Adidas guy, right? He was one of the heads at the Adidas.
Yeah, exactly. I can't even remember the name of that.
Resurgence.
It's interesting. It's like maybe it's like more or buy more or more now or something like that.
Something like that.
And with that, they just talked about like if you wanted that baby doll, you would have to request, hey, mom and dad, can we go to the store? I can't go today. Okay, can we go to Target tomorrow? Okay. So then you have to schedule the time, you have to do the time, you have to go all the way there, and then whatever's there is all you can pick from. There's only 2 dolls. You're just going to pick from these 2 dolls.
Yeah.
But, and then you have to make your decision, and then that's the one. And then, so it becomes like kind of an event around acquiring something rather than how much easier it is now, where it's like, I go on Amazon. You want a baby doll? What do you want? I want a baby doll with light skin, blonde hair, in a farmer outfit. Boom. Got you. Here's 5 different sizes, and they can all arrive tomorrow. You're like, what? Okay, I guess that's what I'm going to just click. But because the investment is so much shorter and easier, easy come, easy go, right? Then how much value is put on that is really less about, I finally have it, because it was such a quick thing. It's boom, boom, it's here. It's people like in their careers. It's like you get rich, you're a trust fund baby, like whatever. You haven't earned that thing. And so, and we're in that too as adults. I mean, that's not just something that our kids are going through, but that acquiring of stuff. We've talked a lot on this show about like getting more things and more stuff because it's easier, even if it's just not even necessarily cheaper, but it's like, I went to the store and there were 30 hats, or I was on Amazon and, they had this deal on this. And so I think for kids, it's harder because it's easier. You get it. And I see this with stuffies with my daughter. So I have an 11-year-old who's a 6th grader. She's finishing 6th grade, and I have a 5-year-old. And in terms of the older side, like with Ellis, she's our first, and we were trying to figure it out as we go. And also she's wired differently than my 5-year-old. And so that's part of it too, is like, how do you parent kind of differently within that? And so, but for her, it is the acquiring of a thing that she's going for, that dopamine hit, kind of like the cliche of like, go treat yourself. You had a bad day. I'm going to, make my bad day go away with a shopping spree,
as soon as they get it, they don't want it. They don't.
That's it. It was about the acquiring. It's about the unboxing. It's about that moment. And then for the most part, then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And so, we've really talked about with her, let's say with stuffies, for instance, if you really want this, we're going to wait 2 weeks. If you still want it, kind of like Tyson, you were talking about with Target, if this is something you still want, then we can talk about it. More than half the time, it's gone. We never hear about that thing that I have always wanted.
It's a good idea.
You add a little bit of like, so it's not just a snap judgment. It's not the dollar bin, because it's something that like you really want. And if you really want it, then we can talk about why you want it. I want it because I've got this collection I really want to add to. I want it because I really want to cuddle with it. Okay, if there's a reason behind it, that's at least helpful. Not just I want it because I want it. So that would be kind of like
I do like that waiting part. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
I do that for me too sometimes. Like, I'll be on Amazon and I'll be like, ooh, cheap hard drives, and I'm like, that's a great idea. Then I'm like, wait a second. I don't really need
my phone.
Oh man, the battery chargers, the external battery chargers,
fucking cool, dude.
And it's flashlights. Did we talk about this?
Yes.
I love flashlights.
And little pocket knives. We talked.
Yeah,
about
that's right. You're the pocket knife guy.
I love the little pocket knives. I only use them to open Amazon packages, but like I need like 7 of them.
At least one for every room.
Yeah. So,
creating that space is helpful.
Yeah. I also, and I think we've also talked about this, Mike. My thing is, if it's not taking up the new number 1 spot, it's not worth buying. Like, why
favorite?
Why would you buy your 3rd favorite pair of jeans when you have 2 pairs that you like more than that? Find your new favorite pair and demote 1 and 2 to 2 and 3, and now you've got something. So I think that for me, that's always been how I've how I've operated as far as clothing and fashion goes. Is like, is this my new favorite hat? If not, then no reason to buy it, because I have my favorite hat currently that I'm going to wear more than this thing that I'm looking at buying. But with kids,
what about more boundaries in general, and like saying no in general, not necessarily around buying things, but just everything, like, staying up later or eating different things, or like, what are some tricks, some tips for standing your ground against your children when they try to use that emotional?
I tell them honestly why. I give them the reasons of why. And sometimes it's not enough, like the staying up too late. We can't stay up that late. You can't, because you can't get up on time for the things we got to do. And you need your sleep to be healthy. You need the X amount of numbers of sleep. I, as a parent, like, my number one goal is to keep you healthy and happy. That's why we feed you things you don't always love. We can't just feed you candy every day. That's why we go to bed on time. It's why we make sure that you get your exercise. It's so that you can live a full life and be happy and healthy and not sick and all those things. And so, like, going to bed, and sometimes I'll check myself and I'll be like, why am I not right now? Okay, you're right. I don't care. You are right. I am wrong.
It's Friday night.
I was trying to
we don't have anything tomorrow morning. That thing canceled or whatever.
Correct.
After the baby fiasco last night, Rowan went to bed at like 10, maybe after 10. I also didn't enforce that. But it was also like the most fun night we've ever had, like, in so long, because of me caving for the baby. I don't know why. Also, I just wanted to say it was so hilarious yesterday. Like, the emotional roller coaster from seeing these packages on the front steps and just being so proud, so excited, so happy that she was able to, like, get these delivered to our house, to me being like, what the fuck? And, like, telling me we have to send them back, to just like, the peak happiness, peak excitement, all of it, to just such dark disappointment, so sad, so mad. But then,
I think for her in there is a lot of autonomy. Understanding the situation of her going back and forth, right, as you're continuing to go through this divorce, figuring out, she just was in an apartment for a long time. Now it's a new house. I mean, and in the long term, this is good, but there's a lot of change happening right now.
Right.
So all of a sudden, she was able to control this thing.
Interesting.
And like, boom, I did this. Look what I've done. I'm so proud of myself. I took care of myself. I did this thing. And then it's like, nope, that's out of your control too. And it's like, what? Like, I see with my 5-year-old, and I think kids in general, I mean, adults too, we were just talking about this, but like, it's all about control. And I think control is so important. And in this like new parenting, gentle parenting, we probably err on that side of things versus like, the corporal punishment side of things, kind of how I grew up. And I've had people kind of joke with me, be like, I want some ice cream. You're probably not going to tell them no, right? You never say no. Like, this gentle parenting, no one says no. And I'm like, no, we're definitely going to say no, because we're about creating boundaries. What we're not going to do is just across the board say no for everything. We're going to create opportunities for them to weigh in. My wife is just off camera here. You want to add? Oh. Yeah. I'll translate this for the podcasters as it's coming through. I'm just getting this in from home base.
Not in the business of shame.
Yeah. 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 The autonomy, the ability to make a decision. Yeah. Writer director, always. You can take the writer and director out of LA, but you can't take. That's true. Yeah. So there you go. Welcome to the show. We had a guest just join us briefly. That's Kirsten Hasemeyer, my wife. So the idea there being like, imagine from her perspective, she's just done all this, and now that's a no, right? So I actually like what you did where it wasn't like an across the board. And I don't think that's caving. Something we do a lot with our 5-year-old is the idea of compromise, right? We want them to have some kind of autonomy in the decision, but it's also sometimes the illusion of choice. It's not like, are we going to the park or not?
Oh, manipulation.
Yeah. I mean, Tyson, of course, knows this. His career is predicated on the illusion of choice. But, so it's instead of like, are we keeping all the dolls or not, right? They don't have that decision. You've created the A or B. Now they get to take the quiz kind of idea, right? So you create those kind of the rails of the boundaries as a healthy, you're too young to be able to do that. But then they exercise a little bit of that muscle, and then they can take autonomy of like, I made this choice, or like, this is my thing. I picked this out. And so, the value of that is that if the parent is always the one saying yes or no all the time, the kid's not learning to make decisions. Eventually, when the kid grows up, mom and dad isn't there, and they're like, I don't really know how to make a healthy decision. That was always decided for me. So I actually don't think you should be so hard on yourself on that. I think compromising with the doll was a great choice. I think, but in those cases, at least what we try to do with Loic is explain why we're making that choice. So he doesn't just feel like, I won. It's more like, hey, you want 3 scoops of ice cream? I want you to have 0 scoops of ice cream. Let's compromise. We'll do 1 scoop of ice cream after bath, right? Like, so we're creating this moment, or, whatever the thing is. So Tyson, have you done stuff like that too? You're nodding like, yeah,
I agree. But also you can't reward her in a way where she thinks she can get on Amazon every time and order 10 things. And keep
you have to be explicit about that too.
Be like, if this happens again, we're sending them all back, and you won't be allowed to look at Amazon on my phone for a while. Part of it too is she's 4. She doesn't understand money. She doesn't understand 5. She doesn't understand money. She doesn't understand how hard you work to earn those things, to buy that stuff. And that's a conversation I've had with my kids. It's just like, you want that thing? That's $75. How do you know how much time I have to put in to earn $75, and what other things our family could do with $75? This is just to quantify.
Yeah, I like that.
To quantify in a way that hopefully you understand how much it's going to take of time, energy, and away from the things we have to get this thing. Then it's, I know even at 9 and 6, they don't fully understand, but at least they're starting to, where it's like, okay, if you're getting paid $1 a chore on Saturdays and you do 5 chores, that's $5. And this is $75. You have to do 75 chores a lot of Saturdays over the course. Yeah. So I was like, so that's like, and granted,
figuring out a way to quantify it's really good.
Yes.
We did some other compromising too. Like, there was some presents that she got for her birthday that she hasn't really played with or like showed that much interest in. So she was like, okay, we can give this one back if we can keep the baby.
Yeah.
So we did some other compromising.
We can keep the baby. Just that verbiage is great.
And we also talked about not getting any more babies for a long time because she's got these great babies and it was just her birthday. I definitely said she's not doing any more Amazon shopping or window shopping on the Amazon anymore. And we talked about money too. So I do think there was probably some good lessons after it. And like I said, last night was after we went through all that, we had a really great night together and it was super fun and awesome. And I didn't make her go to bed until a little late.
So she got rewarded all the way around
more.
In every.
She won. No question. It was 100%. A big dub on her side.
She does win every time.
That's
why I'm talking to you guys about boundaries.
Well, I think it's got to be complicated too, because like you talked, like you know, a lot of times and Tyson, I don't know how you guys play this, but there's good cop, bad cop sometimes, right? Like I think you can't really make it that black and white. There's certain things that I'm good at that Kirsten's not, and vice versa. It's not clear across the board. But I would imagine if I was in a similar situation as how I kind of assume, and what you've told us as well, William, is like, it's hard to be like, I only have you for a week and I have to try to like help with boundaries or discipline. I guess that's where really like talking with your ex is like, we got to be on the same, like our laws have to be the same, whether you're in this state or that state. Like you got to wear your seatbelt the whole time, you know, like those types of boundaries, whatever they are. And I think that's got to be tough because that's like an extra level of communication that you've got to try to, no, I can, but I have chocolate at mom's house where we're not doing chocolate here. You know, like, oh, that's tough.
Yeah. And really, you can't really do it like that either. Like what happens at my house and what happens at her mom's house, they're different things.
Yeah,
they're different rules, different everything.
Yeah.
So there's really no give and take in that way. Like, hey, you can't give her this or you can't do this because it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And just constantly, oh, my mom lets me do this. Oh, my mom lets me do this. Oh, my mom lets me do this. It's hard. But we actually had that conversation this morning. Like, it doesn't really matter what your mom lets you do at her house because this is our house and it's not the same place and we have different rules at both houses. So
yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, I think that's right though. Like even
I also think go ahead, Tyson.
Within our relationship, it's like mom's rules are different than some of my rules. Like I have rules that are for us when we're together. She has rules for when you're together. Like if she wants to buy you a toy in that moment, that's her decision. I'm not buying you a toy right now because I realize how many you have. Also with the abundance thing, to just backtrack, but then come back to where we're at right now. What we've been doing around birthdays and holidays is having them go through their toys and donate.
Yeah, and she loves donating stuff.
They will get a little extra on their birthday or on the holidays if they are willing to donate the toys that they don't play with anymore.
Yeah. This morning, Rowan asked if she could donate a hat that doesn't fit her anymore. She's like, "Is there another little girl who might need a hat like this? Because it doesn't fit me anymore, and I would love to give it to somebody."
I think that's a lot of maturity for a 5-year-old who actively wants to do that, and obviously someone's put that type of idea into her. So I think that's helpful.
Yeah. So
she's a baby.
She's a little baby, just your baby. I think the other thing with discipline is like sticking to your guns. And that's so hard sometimes. Like, no, I know we said no food after bath. I know like that, but I'm so hungry. And so it's like, I probably with my first, I was a lot more like, that's the law. An inch out of bounds is out of bounds. With my 5-year-old, I'm a little bit more lenient. I think it's because A, not my first kid. And I know like the battles and the fights. B, I know how to just like try to manipulate why I'm letting you have some pepperoni after bath. And then also just, I know he's just different. He's a different kid, you know?
Pepperoni the go-to snack?
He loves pepperoni. It's turkey pepperoni, which is nice. Not as much sodium.
Rowan went through a pepperoni phase too.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's one of the 3 things he'll eat. So
when I go back to that, Bradley, what you said, I ask myself, why am I enforcing this right now? And if I can't come up with a good reason for why I'm enforcing it, then I'll just be like, yeah, never mind. Let's do it. Like, oh no, your bedtime's at 7:30. We let you stay up till 8 on the weekends because you don't have anything. But you know what? There's no good reason why it has to be 8. Let's go to 9. I don't. The only reason because I need some time to myself at night too.
Right.
So
yeah, I've been trying to talk to Rowan about that lately too. It's like, listen, I have a lot of stuff going on too. Daddy needs some time for himself sometimes.
And
last night,
kids need more sleep.
Me around the whole time. She's so attached right now, just like so clingy. Like she wants to hold my hand. If we go outside, like if I go upstairs, she follows me up there. My mom actually had a fall in our driveway last week, which was pretty brutal.
Oh no.
So then that really freaked out Rowan. So now every time she goes in the front yard, she wants to hold my hand because she's afraid of falling. And yeah, she's a baby. I love her so much, but I need to get some better boundaries for myself because, man, especially like I've had her for basically 2 weeks straight. And we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like I've got things that I got to do and there's no time for myself. And because I'm not great at setting boundaries, I need to get better at it, but it just amplifies everything when like I do have something that has to get done, or not even that sometimes. Sometimes I just need some time for myself.
Yeah.
And there's none of that, like none of it. So I do think that she's really good at reasoning and good at kind of understanding some of those things when I take the time to explain them to her. But that has to be like constant and
it can be exhausting.
And I'm also lucky in that she's not like around food and stuff like that. Like she doesn't really want to eat ice cream every night. And so there's a lot of maturity there too, in just like her own choices. Like she wants to eat healthy, even though she's only 5, she knows that it's good to eat healthy. So I think that helps a lot with some of those parts.
Yeah. What's your takeaways here, Bradley?
I think what I'm taking away is the value of discipline is important. The value of all of the stuff we're talking about is important, but also go easy on yourself, Dad. Go easy on yourself, Mom. You're doing your best, and every kid is a unique situation. Every situation is unique. Every family is different. I think as long as you're thinking about getting better at it, or what can I be doing better, or whatever, I think that's the beginning. When you get into just lackadaisical, and it's like, when you do it because it's easier for you, like across the board, sometimes you have to, but like that's when you got to be like, wait a second, that's not ultimately going to help me when they're 15 or 16 and they just decide
ask the whys. Why?
Ask the why. Yeah.
I think that from talking about this with you guys, I was super hard on myself yesterday for letting her keep the baby because she just got all her birthday presents.
It felt like you lost, she won. Like there's that dynamic. Yeah.
But then talking about it with you guys definitely makes me realize that there was some actual pretty good lessons in the whole thing for me and for her.
Yeah.
And that it might actually be better in the long run, because another compromise that we made was that she's not getting any babies for a long time if she keeps this one baby.
That's right.
Yeah. And
maybe it's a secret win.
I think it is. I think it's a win. I think that's a lesson. Like if this is the first time it's happened, then that's a lesson that need to be taught. And I think my takeaway is like, take those moments to teach and have conversations, have honest conversations with your kids, even if they don't fully understand the worth of $1 and all of those things, they eventually will. And if you start those conversations early and honestly, then it will get easier and easier with time, and they'll be more and more understanding. And so like I will discipline like sometimes I'll discipline and it'll be like, what for what? Like I said. And so I think I sometimes have to check back in with myself and be like, what is the why of this? And is the why worth it right now? And if not, there's so many times where they're like, can I have an Otter Pop? I was like, no. And they're like, why? I was like, because they're filled with sugar and they're not good for you. And they're like, I know, but it's hot outside. I was like, it is hot. And they're like, and we had lunch and we had broccoli for lunch. And you're like, you know what? You're right. Like, why? Yeah. Who cares? It's an Otter Pop. Like, yeah, have an Otter Pop. We have them if we bought them for a reason. Take an Otter Pop. It's hot outside and you guys are playing out there. That's great.
I've also got Rowan to start liking my broccoli smoothies, you guys.
No, it's impossible.
Lies.
Nope. I swear. Yes. Well, first it was spinach, but then I was out of spinach, so I snuck in some sneaky broccoli last night. And she drank 2 smoothies with broccoli in them. So she's amazing.
Yeah.
That feels like recipe. AI. I think that's AI.
Know. How can you make broccoli taste like anything less than farts?
Than broccoli. Broccoli tastes like broccoli. No one's like, this broccoli tastes like chicken. Yeah. No, it's broccoli.
Wow, it's sweet and delicious because you put apple juice in it. That makes it sound even more barf.
And to be clear, I'm fine with broccoli as an independent factor.
Some butter and
broccoli
salt.
Is not. Yeah, it's like a Speedo at your wedding. A Speedo can be fine. A tux should be fine, but you can't mix those two.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
I just think there was a lot of really sage advice in this one episode. So thank you guys so much for helping me process this and figure out what to do with yesterday and some ideas for the future. And for me, the takeaways were definitely don't be hard on yourself all the time, and
ask the why.
Ask the why. Yep. Reason with your kids. Let them see your logic. Ask the why in how you're making your decisions, and maybe give them that baby from time to time.
All from time to time, shortages are coming. Let's get those 30 to make sure every baby teenager has 30 dolls.
Check back with me in a month, and I might have 5 lifelike baby dolls.
We'll just see dolls across the shelf instead of the plants in the back. Just like 30 dolls everywhere.
Wow. That'll be incredible. All right. That'll do it here at Midlife Crisisses podcast. Again, please like, share, subscribe. Tell us what you like about the episode. Tell us what you like about the podcast. Don't be shy. Get on there and comment. You can comment on Spotify. I guess we started seeing those. You can comment on our YouTube channel. Anywhere you can comment, please do. It helps
our Instagram as well, at Midlife Crisisses. Follow us there. Hit us up. DM. Slide in that DM. We'll get back to you.
That's right. Till next week. See ya.
See ya.
Peace.